Hello, everybody. This is Trent Tenney from For Life Research, Senior Vice President of Sales. And thank you for joining us here in this fantastic opportunity to join us in a Zoom call. We in Utah are excited about a lot of things that are happening in our market. And April and March, April was a phenomenal month, and we have seen some amazing growth. And we just wanted to be able to take the opportunity to share some really good wisdom and information from our newest Gold International Diamond, Dana Lombardi. And Dana was able to hit a record in For Life. She was able to meet the Gold International Diamond rank with For Life Research in 12 months, Dana. And let me bring you on here, Dana. Can you see us? Can you see us there?
I can see you.
Okay, Dana Lombardi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Dana is from Sacramento, California. Dana is a busy person. She's a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur. And we're going to ask Dana a few questions. She's had a lot of people reach out to her, and she has been able to accomplish so much in the last 12 months. I mean, we watched her from almost day one. And I think that with all of the people reaching out to her, asking her questions as to why and how and what are some ideas and methods that she has in building and being able to accomplish such an incredible goal with For Life. Some of these questions we've written down that people have reached out to her. And we want to ask you, Dana, if you're okay to do some of these things.
Yeah, great.
Now, I remember, Dana, before I ask you these questions, I do remember a conversation super early when I had met you over the phone, and we talked, and one of the first things you wanted to know after you had already felt like you were ready to join with For Life is you wanted to know about how the compensation plan works. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But why was it important for you to ask that question to us so early on?
Well, I already knew that the product worked. I mean, that's the first thing is I already knew the product worked from personal experience. So as I had gone through my thought process, really I was feeling convicted because I was feeling better, right? And as I was really processing and praying and thinking, and I have no desire, this should actually really inspire somebody. I had no desire to build a business with For Life. You never know who you're talking to when you're talking to them. And so about 5 weeks after becoming a customer, I thought, okay, this is where I need to be. This is an amazing product. Nobody else has it. And this is where I want to be. And so I needed to know what the opportunity was and what kind of comp plan it was. And if it was, there's binary, or if it was unilevel, or what it was. And I am a little familiar with all these comp plans. And I would have been extremely disappointed had it been a binary, because those are really tough. And so I was super excited to find out that it wasn't.
That was an interesting conversation. And when we get into some of the things I'm going to ask you later, I think that there are some milestones that I witnessed as a third-party observer of you that had to do with that critical conversation and those questions you were asking as to how you go out and build the house, build the network, build your organization. But so you told us a little bit about that experience with the product first, and then needing to know how the business was going to work, the compensation plan. But take a second and tell the audience, I mean, you have done businesses before. You've done network marketing businesses. I know that you worked in the marketing field. You have kind of a broad experience in business. You ran your own business out of your home. But if someone asks you, really, why are you with For Life Research right now, what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I love this profession. I absolutely love this profession. I've been married 30 years, and 23 of those years, I swore this profession off. I wasn't interested. I had been approached by so many people saying, oh, you'd be so great at what I do. And I was thinking it was, we all hear this. It's one of those things. It's a pyramid, right? Well, that was where my mindset was. I didn't have an open mind. And I got to a place in my life. My husband and I found ourselves in a really scary situation. And so a scary financial situation. And so I I gave this profession a try. So I was already in network marketing. This is my 8th year in network marketing. And like I said, I wasn't looking to partner with For Life. I was on a health journey. My immune system was in trouble. It was weak, and I like to say it sucked. Excuse the French, it was lame. And I was doing all kinds of natural, I was on a holistic healing journey. Never had heard about transfer factor, which blows my mind. And so, I've tried everything, protocols and vitamins, minerals, herbs, expensive concoctions of those combined, all of it. And when I learned about transfer factor, the science made sense to me, and I thought, I'm going to just put it in my body. And that's what I did. And because I saw some really great results, that my immune system was no longer working against me, and now it was working for me, I was feeling better. I was getting stronger. I was sleeping better. I had focus. I wasn't tired. I wasn't napping all day long. All kinds of, I won't go into all the symptoms, right? But they were all starting to go away because my body now was working the way it should. And it was actually able to maximize the vitamins, minerals, and herbs that I was taking because now my immune system's educated. That just made sense to me. And so I started feeling really guilty. I was really convicted, almost to the point where I would say, how dare you get better and not share this? I was feeling stingy, quite honestly. And so, I was stuck between, do I really want to do this and start over? I had a large team where I was. My income was really comfortable. I wasn't interested at all. But I knew people who had immune systems that needed help too. And I started sharing a little bit. I started a little group here on Facebook with 28 of my friends. That group is now turned into 8,500 people that are interested in learning how to boost their immune system. And so when I decided, I never do, this is one thing, this is a clue. If anybody's watching this and you're like, well, I'll see how it goes. That's not my attitude. That's never been my attitude. If I decide to do it, it will go. I will make it go. I will take the responsibility of being a business owner, and I will educate myself, and I will make it go. And so that's really why we're here now, a year later, right? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and so you talked a little bit about used the word conviction. There was a conviction that took place. Your conscience was starting to get pinged. You felt really strong about the product, and at that point you became convicted that this is something you had to share. Let's segue that. Now, how do you generally share For Life or the products that we offer, the unique niche we have in the immune system category?
Well, first of all, when you're passionate about something, it's hard not to talk about it, right? So I will say, I tell anybody and everybody that will listen, and sometimes I even eavesdrop in conversations. If I'm at the grocery store or I'm out and about, it doesn't matter. I mean, I just signed up a floor guy, like literally, because whatever, right? Because I'm passionate about it. 90% of my business is done on social media though. And here's the thing. When you have the opportunity to reach the globe through your computer, just like you and I are doing right now, I'm not just confined to Sacramento or El Dorado Hills or my county or California. I get to go wherever, right? So I have learned, I can't say I've mastered, although I'm doing pretty darn good at social media. I have learned to keep up with some algorithms. I have learned what turns people off when I'm posting, what turns people on, meaning what gets people interested. How can I pull people into my life? Not how can I sell my product, it's how can I pull people into my life where I have some influence on them now. They maybe see something they like with the way I'm running my family, or maybe I've got some, I'm motivating to them, or maybe I'm just funny to them. I try to kind of cross all those, right?
What you said there was interesting to me, though. You said you want to, even though you happen to use the platform of social media, what you really were saying to me was, I don't want to be pitching. I want to be pulling them and have authentic relationships.
That's the key. That's the key. So when I get people asking me in my inbox, you know, how do you share it on social media? That's a big question. And that's why I thought this would be a really good dialogue that we have. I share my life. I share who I am. I make sure to post things about all aspects of my life. The freedom, I get to work from wherever I'm at. I get to take a little time off if I need to or want to. I get to, you know, gain people's trust really with maybe some of my views. And again, I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Those people are not my peeps, right? That's not my tribe. And I don't get caught up on that. I'm not interested in selling people products. I'm coming from a very genuine place where, look, this is what I've experienced. I feel better than I have felt in years, and you deserve to feel the exact same way. And that's how I do it. And I add value to people. And I don't just post. Like, I don't know about you, okay? I don't watch a lot of TV. There's a couple shows I watch. Survivor is one of them, and I'm bummed it's over now for the season last night. But I DVR it. I don't watch it live. Why? Because I fast forward through those commercials. I have to watch, you know, an hour-long show. I'm going to give it 40 minutes right before I go to bed to kind of wind down. I don't want to watch commercials. So the biggest mistake, okay, and write this down, you guys, and I'm going to give you a tip. The biggest mistake you can make on your social media platform, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever you're using, is posting about this product and this product and that product and this product, and it's a commercial, and you're pulling pictures off the website that are just pictures. People are going to go scroll, no value, right? Mm-hmm. Instead, I'll hold up a product and I'm like, bomb diggity right here, and they're like, what's bomb diggity? What is that? And then in my post, I can share what it is, right? But I never say the word transfer factor, because I don't want people, it needs education, right? I don't want people to go to Google and think that they found transfer factor and not end up with actual transfer factor. They're going to end up with calcolostrum, right? We want the transfer factor. And I don't mention for life very often at all, right? Because again, I don't want to give everybody all the information. I want to pull conversations offline. I want them to ask me about it so I can give them some education about it and point them in the right direction.
And I think the other thing that I'm hearing here is trust.
Big one.
I don't know that any of us watch TV and commercials and automatically trust those commercials. Mm-hmm. We would prefer to get a review from someone we trust that car is great or that product is great before we go ahead and make that purchase. And I'm hearing that from you, that what you're really doing is pulling in a true story and a true authentic relationship with trust.
Right. Which I have to say, Trent, makes this job the easiest job I've had, because I don't sell products. I mean, I don't sell businesses. I sell products. I sell health. I sell education. I sell more of an experience, right? When people are feeling sluggish and, you know, maybe they're really getting sick all the time, their immune systems need help. And so when they can actually get some immune support that makes sense, that's not a vitamin, mineral, or herb, because those things are great, but they're not effective if your immune system as a whole doesn't really know exactly what to do with them in the right time and the right place, right? So I don't sell businesses. I don't recruit people to do my business. I only bring it up if they bring it up. Yeah. Seriously, my goal is to get transfer factor in their body the same way I got transfer factor in my body. I felt different. I was convicted to share. And I have quite a few people that will share. I have a lot of people that share full-time. I have a lot of people that will share part-time. And I have a lot of people that will share sometime. That's great. That's great. I just don't sell a business. Now, when they commit to doing a business, different game. Like that's different.
Let's talk about that. First of all, I was going to just mention one thing. I mean, I am not a working distributor for Life, but I will tell you, and this is absolute truth, I am with For Life for those very two reasons. There's a trust factor. I know what I represent works. I'm very, very proud of what the company does for its working distributors and the promises it makes to its customers. And that's why I have no problem looking anybody in the eye and saying, this company is someone you need to look at and you need to at least have some relationship with. So I get that. And people, if they have that conviction, you're on your way. And then you just need to go forward with conviction. So let's segue that one into when you have people that have maybe had an experience because of you touching them, Dana, or you offering some potential benefits in their lives and their health because of the products that For Life offers. And they say, you know, I might want to share myself, and let's define that as becoming a team member, of which you have about 2,500 in 12 months. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you.
I
don't even know where you find that number.
Well, I have those numbers, but 20% growth a month on your team right now. Each and every month we're seeing 20%. And I don't have to do the math, but I tell you that's what's going to happen 12 months from now. It's going to be an interesting story, but that's all about knowing where you want to go. But once someone says to you, or say someone underneath 2 or 3 levels, and they're being coached by another leader in your team, how does the support work? I've raised my hand and say, I want to be part of this. I want to share. I want to pay for my product, and I want to earn an extra more and take some steps. What kind of support do I get?
Great question. I'm going to back up to your 20%. We're growing at 30%. I don't know what kind of math you're doing, but I keep track of it, and we're growing 27.7 to 34%. So
I will stand to be corrected.
Good question. So the question is, how do you support the team, right? Here's the one big thing that a lot of network marketers make a mistake on. I did it. So I learned it the hard way. And I'm telling you, if you are watching this and you really want to grow what we call beach money business, literally sitting on the beach, making money, you have got to empower your team. Okay. Let me elaborate. I will tell my team, I will work with you. I won't do it for you. I will not build your business for you. I rarely, if ever, give away enrollments. There's always an exception to the rule. I'm not saying I've never given away enrollments, but I rarely give away enrollments. I place all day long because I want to help with volume all day long. But I hold myself to a very high standard. And if you're going to get my time, and I'm going to coach you, I'm going to hold you to a very high standard, right? And I'm going to expect that you hold yourself to a very high standard. So that's where we start, right? You've got to get that standard. And I want to give them the tools, okay? I'm not going to baby feed them. They've got to go to the For Life University and get that done. We have, I've got a team page here on Facebook, and it's just for business builders. And I've got a pinned post, and they there can learn how to set up their loyalty program. We point them right back to the university. There's some guidelines on how to use our group that we have for prospects. They can go right to that post, which is quite a long post, and take personal responsibility to get themselves trained. Now, I can tell if somebody hasn't watched the videos because they're asking me questions that are answered. So I point them back, right? Because I want them to be independent business owners. I want to become less relevant to them. I want to be the person that's like, you got this, you can do this. Let's talk strategy. Let's worry about 3-level volume. In fact, let's ignore organizational volume, because if you get your 3-level volume to what your organizational volume will be, trust me, you're going to do amazing, and your paycheck is going to be bigger than a lot of other people at that rank because they're not focusing on that 3-level. So it's that kind of stuff I want to encourage. I want to empower. I want to edify my leaders. Okay, we do team calls every Monday night. We do them old-fashioned, pick up the phone, call in, right? And I want them to do the call with me. It's not the Dana call. In fact, I couldn't be on our Monday night call. I was on listening, but I was traveling. And I have leaders that do the whole call.
Hey, Dana.
That's freedom.
Is everybody invited on those team calls on Monday nights for your team?
and everybody on my team down, yes, all the leaders, we do this as a community, which brings me to another point. We've got, like I mentioned, we've got two groups. We have a team page and we've got a prospecting group. Those are our groups. My name is nowhere on those groups. And here's why. Because when there's power in numbers, right? So I've got some people that have started their own group because they want to share their testimony as they're going with some of their friends and family. That's one thing, okay? But a prospecting group is the best tool you can have. And it's not effective if there's crickets in there, if there's not a lot of energy. So I don't require, because I'm leading a team of volunteer, right? It's a volunteer army. But I tell them, I teach them, here is how to be successful. Leverage her information and her good product training and the testimony that, she put in, or the information that he's sharing, because I'm not everybody's cup of tea and not everybody can relate to my health journey, right? But if you have a mass team or a lot of people or several people or 5 people that can all lean on their strengths, now you're exposing your prospects to a wider variety of people to become connected to. And they'll go, oh, I've had people that have reached out to me that I've added to my group a year ago that haven't ordered. But they see one person going, wow, I slept through the night, first time ever, my mind shut off and I was dreaming, something like that. And maybe I haven't shared that testimony in there, right? And I'll get a call or get a message saying, okay, it helps you sleep? I'm like, well, when your body's functioning properly and you're giving it the tools it needs, and you're eating properly and you've got your transfer factor, your vitamins, your minerals, your herbs, heck yeah. Your body knows how to behave. We just get in its way all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, and then there's 2 other things that I think is really important on this question. How do I support the team, right? I edify all day long. Like, I'm a big recognition person. We recognize people on the team call that we've already recognized in our team page. A lot of you who follow me will see that I do little stories about people who have rank advanced or earned trips. Every Monday when I have leaders lead calls or participate in the call, almost before that call is over, right when that call is over, I go to their walls and I out loud thank them for being an amazing leader on this team. And here's why. People are watching. You don't know who's watching you and you don't know who's watching your team. So when you have a leader, go to your wall and say, Dana, thank you so much for sharing on the team call. You brought some humor and you're just such a valuable asset to this team. Thank you for being an awesome leader. People that are watching their walls are going, wow, she really is a leader. Maybe she can help me. Okay, there's lots of reasons to do that, not just to, really it's for people who are watching, right? We want to cast that vision to people that, look, you're not going to sign in and then be like, see ya, good luck. We're going to be here to support you and to answer your questions and to cheer you on and to pick you up when you fall down, because you're going to want to quit. And on those days, we're going to say, you know what? Today you quit. Tomorrow you get right back up on that horse. Why did you do this to begin with? Why did you start? You want to be a stay-at-home mom, yet you just said you couldn't show up because your kids, you're letting them be your excuse. And we're going to come behind you and we're going to remind you of why you're here, right?
Right. It's interesting. When you were talking there, I was thinking of all of the people who join, and most of them have never done a network marketing business, and they're not going to know how to handle adversity. And if you didn't have a team around you, the likelihood of them continuing goes really low really quick, wouldn't you say?
Well, community is a big thing. So we do create community. People quit things, they don't quit people, right? Yes. So I'm not sure that everybody on our team knows that they're not under this person or that person. Like, I'm sure they know, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Right? So we create these communities. We're getting ready to travel to the Bahamas. There's, 10 of us or something, 5 and I guess 10 of us that are going to be, we're creating these relationships and these communities, and we're doing life together. I mean, I had a teammate, one of my great leaders, Stacia, was at my daughter's wedding this weekend. People come to birthday parties. We go out to dinner. We socialize. We do life together. And so I want to teach my team to create community within their team so that that can duplicate down, because then you have longevity. And I think our retention's pretty darn good. I mean, at least for the first year.
You do have very good retention. And I know also that you have a lot of customers, classified preferred customers on your team, and they are also being retained. So it seems like there's also some training being done on follow up with customers. And I do want to ask a question I didn't give to you ahead of time, but I think it's relevant, maybe important to the audience. Our business is a business that is organized in a way in which we break it up into months. We require our people who want to participate in the commission plan to have 100 principal volume every month. We pay commissions once a month. We do recognition breaks based on months. How do you, as a business leader and teaching people to do the business, how do you look at the month? What's your psychology about how to deal with the month?
That's a really great question. So a couple things that I'd like to say with that is I always say to my leaders, identify your leaders, identify the people that want to work this business, whether it's sometime, part-time, or full-time. So now that you've gone diamond, now go identify identify 2 to 3 people that you think want to work to get to diamond, so that they can jump into that level 4, so that they can really start to make enough money to more than pay for their product. So identify them. Okay, once we've identified them, then we give them the tools, obviously, of how to do that. And we've talked about this roadmap before.
Perfect place to go.
Yeah, this is where you go. We do this. I have this in my binder, which is actually under this computer, so I could get it up a little bit, but it's in my binder. I have blank ones, and I have ones that I'm working on. Yep. And so we go step by step. We explain to them how to use this, and we go step by step. So we break it down one step at a time. When somebody comes in, the last thing I say is, I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get you to Gold International Diamond. No, that's like a huge mountain to climb, right? I'll say, let's get you the builder bonus. Do you know 3 people that deserve to feel as amazing as you do? Because when they enroll as your preferred customer and they're on loyalty program, we're not only going to pay you commission tomorrow, you're going to earn that in 24 hours, but we're also going to pay you once a month a $50 bonus. How does that sound? And they're like, well, that sounds easy. My mom, my sister, and my neighbor. Great, let's get them on a 3-way call, right? Now, once they've done that, then we go, now it's time for you to go teach those 3 to do exactly the same thing, because they probably want that $50 too. Oh, and by the way, your 50 will turn into 200. How does that sound? Now you've got people that are like, well, I can do that. That's easy. That's duplicable, right? And now you've got some volume creating. Let's talk about our first leadership promotion. How about diamond? You want to open up that comp plan, right? Go get 3 more. Let's do 3 more. And I want you to write their names on this form. Okay. And we're going to track it.
And you're coaching now, right? You're coaching.
Coaching. Yes. And we're giving them little steps. Now I've got a leader on my team. She's amazing. And she breaks it down even more, which here again is why you want to have a community of leaders and collaboration, right? Leah, I've got to give Leah Leonardo credit for this. She breaks down going diamond into 10 days. Okay, so from the 1st to the 10th, your goal is to sign in 2 people and be looking at about 1,000 LP in volume. Okay, then from the 11th to the 20th, you got to get 2 more people, and your volume's and you've got to be teaching them to do the same thing, because you can't just get there with signing 6 people. You need 3,000 LP, right? So by the 20th, you should have 2,000 LP or close to it. If you're 1,700 or 2,200, that's great. You're either got to work a little bit harder, or you're going to end this month awesome strong. And then from the 21st to the last day of the month, you got to get another 1,000, 2 more people. And if you teach that, everybody can do that, right? But when you say fill this out and get 3,000 people and 3,000 LP and 6 people, now people are like, okay, look, I can try that. I can see what I'm doing.
I just got discouraged.
Right. It's discouraging.
Yeah.
Right.
So depending on your style, when someone says to you, I'm raising my hand and I want to be coached and I'm willing to do whatever you ask me to do, you will go to this roadmap to diamond document. And notice it doesn't say roadmap to gold, international diamond. Mm-hmm. What is so fundamental about that diamond rank?
Well, that's what I say. I go, once you've gotten to diamond, that's the foundational level that you need to reach. Once you've done it, now you can go teach other people how to do it. And by the way, do you think you could teach 3 people how to do that? Well, yeah. Awesome. Because when you do that, I always teach 3 legs. You need to be bringing 3 legs. You can promote with 2, but I would hate for you to get to international diamond and not be able to go any further because now you don't have that 3rd leg, right? So I want to, you know, and Tiffany, who enrolled me, she told me that out the gate. Don't just build 2 legs, build 3 legs, which I appreciated that because I would hate to be like, well wait a minute, why? Now how do I get to gold? And then I'd have to start all over, which could be a little discouraging. So if you're bringing it along as you go and you remind people to duplicate that, and you know, I do most of my communication in our team page, and I reiterate, we go over this often, not every week, but often through on our team call, just to remind people, right? And of course our app. I mean, you can see where you are real time from our business app. So
Dana, real quickly on the roadmap to diamond, which you helped For Life develop, by the way, once you understood fully the compensation plan, once you understood fully the role of the foundational role of the diamond rank, and then when we introduced the new builder bonus that requires 3 people, we developed this tool. And it is fundamental to anybody who raises their hand and says, I want to be coached and I want to get into this business in a serious manner. You just mentioned 3-level volume and being able to tap into what For Life's willing to pay people. And to do that effectively, you can't leave builder bonus on the table. Why would you ever leave that past you? And so we go 3 wide. It does 2 things. It gets you paid quicker and more, of course. And it takes care of your 3-level volume requirement, which if you get that done, you're tapping into so much of the 25% For Life offers of the 64% really quickly.
Yeah.
And I know it's check.
It's brilliant. I mean, it's truly brilliant. I don't teach organizational volume. In fact, I did a coaching call today with one of my awesome leaders too. And she goes, so which number do I look at? Do I look at the, I don't remember what she said, 75-20 or the 89-90? And I'm like, 75-20, that's your 3-level volume. I want that to be where you need to be. Like I can tell you that when I went for each promotion that I've done, my 3-level volume is all I paid attention to. And we're, you know, I think we're 10 levels deep now at this point. It's going to start to go. I don't know if we're any deeper than that, but that's going to happen authentically, because if that's duplicable, right, that's going to be just duplicating on down. And so one of the strategies that I use and that I teach is you've got to know the comp plan, right? And for me, that comes easy because I'm kind of a geek like that. Like I like numbers. I want to listen, if For Life's going to pay me, I'm going to take it, right? So I want to know how to squeeze every last dime out of that comp plan. And what makes the most sense to me is level 2, right? I want really strong level 2. So what I teach my team is when you are, when you're focused on this month, really helping that structure. Okay, so let me be a little clearer than that. Trent, you made it to diamond. I'm so excited. We just blew you up. Whoever's watching now are going, okay, but is he going to do it again, right? Or now I'm ready to jump in. So let's find 3 people, at least 2 right now that you can be really hyper-focused on, and that 3rd one that you can be bringing along, maybe a part-timer. But do you have 3 legs that now you can go have them do exactly what you just did? And of course, you're going to say yes. Awesome. That's all you got to do. So now you're the leader. So you go print one off for Joe and you go print one off for Jill, right? And you're going to track with them so that anytime they call you, you know right where they're at and your chart is matching theirs. So it's not really about you charting yourself anymore. It's about you charting your team, right? And so, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that?
Well, let me ask you. So in a nutshell, you have a person that's joined you and you're starting the coaching process, and you're using a tool to help coach them on how to do the business. Someone just piped in on the chat here and asking, how do you teach the comp plan? And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if I'm that person that's never been in network marketing, or I have a great conviction of the product now and want to share it, you pretty much start with this, don't you?
Yeah, go get 3 people. I start with builder bonus. Go get 3 people.
Yeah, and
now
that way
get 3 more.
They're putting the foundation under the house.
Yep.
They're going to get as much money as 4Life's willing to pay at that level. They're starting to build a structure that will allow them to build 3 levels, which is important for later qualifications, and paying more at the 25% level.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I think that's pretty fundamental throughout your whole team. I've noticed that this is taught over and over again.
Yep. Now, here's the thing. Nobody taught me the comp plan. Well, let me back up. I had to ask to be taught the comp plan, which is why I went to corporate. And Ross has been gracious to do, team Zooms or a team Zoom, and then the day after I went gold, I now needed to know how to get to platinum. Like, I can teach as far as I've gone, and I always say the leader goes first, right? But I'm also a very visual person. I tell my team, and they'll see little emojis. It'll be the eyeballs, and then a target, and then a boxing glove, and then a target. That means see the target, hit the target. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there, right? So we're always talking target. So now, to answer the question, how do I teach that comp plan is, okay, you've got the $50 builder bonus. Now let's get it to 200. Go teach those 3 to do exactly what you just did. While you're doing that, your 3-level volume is going to grow. Okay. And then you're going to teach them to do the same thing. And now your 3-level volume is going to grow. And then they're going to teach the same thing. And now you're in your organizational volume. Okay. Now go do that again. Now, why do you want to go diamond? Because you want to open up level 4. You want to open up that level 4, right? Because now you've got some depth going on. Okay. Yeah. Width is your nice big paycheck. The depth is your insurance to that paycheck, right? So I don't teach it. It's overwhelming when you teach it all at one time. I teach what's relevant to where they are at that time. Okay. Because I know how to get to platinum. I can see it on the comp plan, right? But I needed to know, okay? I focused on gold. I actually focused when I went international. Then I focused on getting to the 100, the 50, the 100, the 150, and the 200. But I really focused on the President's Club. So 4Life does such a good job if you plug into everything that they're offering. You don't just go title. I tell my team, I don't care what you call me. You can call me Queen of the Purple Twinkies. As long as you're paying me the money, I don't care what you call me, right? We're chasing a paycheck. Yeah. So, get to Presidential Diamond, then get to International Diamond, and then really build that volume up by helping other people. It's not about your volume. It's not about you going and getting more customers. It's about teaching and empowering your team to go get those customers and those teammates, the builders, right? And you teach them the comp plan as you go. And then it's beautiful. And you've got everybody winning. Get paid, get your people paid.
It's interesting. I can see not only passion, but I can see experience coming from you where you're thinking about all of these amazing people who have joined your team. And you've seen in very short periods of time, I've seen people come from joining the team to becoming a Presidential Diamond in 3 months, in some cases on your team. Yeah. I mean, that is an amazing thing. And that has not happened by chance. It's not random.
No.
There's a good amount of training. There's a good amount of collaboration. There's a community being built there. People are having fun with it. Mm-hmm. Of course, the products are absolutely backing up what people are sharing, and people are becoming passionate, and they're starting to receive a paycheck. That is a good
significant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here, if you want to be inspired to do more, to work harder, you ask a simple question. So the first day of the month, I put a post in my team page. What are your goals? I want to know. And now that allows me to go in and use the reply throughout the month. Give me an update. We're halfway through. Where are you? How's it going? Where can I support you? Or when they say, it's not going that great, I'm like, okay, the month's not over. You have 2 whole weeks. Let's get it done. I've seen people do it in minutes. Yeah. But when you want to really get motivated, you ask your team, you say, it's payday. How are you feeling? And I'm not kidding you. Sorry. It lights me up when I know that the time and the effort that I'm putting into people is changing their lives, not just physically, but financially. I was on the brink of losing it all 8 years ago. And I don't ever want anybody to feel like that. And I know how to get you out of that if you'll do the do. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And I get it. You need that to pay the bills, right? But what about the 10-minute breaks? Can you do a post on social media? What about that lunch hour? Can you follow up with 2 people? Can you add 3 people to the prospecting group? And can you write an order while you're sucking down a shake or, eating a sandwich? What about that second 10-minute break? What about when you get home and you put your kids to bed? And I'm not telling my team to do anything that I didn't do myself. When I started in this industry 8 years ago, Trent, I had a full-time business I was running out of my home. It was an online boutique. And that sucker was busy. It was a 6-figure a year job, but I was it. I was manufacturing and payroll and, marketing and all of it, right? And then I had a part-time job because we were losing it all in the economy. My husband wasn't getting paid and wasn't landing jobs. So I was at the church working admin works 20 hours a week, right? For $15 an hour. And then I started my little network marketing business. And I set small attainable goals. And once I reached enough income to stop the part-time job, I did. And I was so strategic and laser beam focused on taking those 20 hours that I was spending doing, admin work on my business. And so now, once I made enough income to just shut down my online business, my husband about had a heart attack, but we did it anyway because I could be good at 2 things, but I couldn't be great at 2 things. I could be great at 1 thing. And I realized really quickly that my paycheck is only as good as the next thing I sell or the next contract I get signed on my own effort. But with this profession, my paycheck is dependent on a whole community of people. So I would rather spend my time empowering, edifying, recognizing, teaching, coaching, supporting a team of a whole lot of people so that I've got the freedom to do what I want to do and leave a legacy for my family, but also to help other people do the exact same thing. And I get charged up when people call me and say, oh my gosh, I was $700 away from having 2 digits in front of my comma. Or I'll get someone saying, I got a comma in my paycheck. I'm like, that's amazing. Let's keep going. Don't take your foot off the gas. What can we do now? And I'll look at their organization and just help. You got to be a good vision caster. Let them see what's possible. And I tell them, if you don't believe in yourself yet, take my belief. I believe in you. I know it can be done. You just have to be willing to let me encourage you to get out of your comfort zone. And that's going to feel icky. But then you're going to look back and go, well, that wasn't so bad. And then I'm going to push you a little bit more. And that wasn't so bad. And now look at you. You're pushing other people, which is amazing. And I get to go help someone else.
I just can tell you're a person that loves to connect with human beings and you have trust and faith in these people and you're willing to say it and believe and help them get to where they want to be. We're ending the precious time that we have, Dana Lombardi. We all appreciate the time you are willing to take to share some of your techniques, your philosophies, your methods, the tools that you use. It is remarkable to be able to see the speed in which you've done it, and to be able to share some of those methods with the audience. This webinar is going to be recorded tonight. It's being recorded right now. We're going to be posting this on the 4Live Facebook how-to page tomorrow. And one last shot before we go, Dana, one more question for you. A lot of people are reaching out. You want to talk to that on how people that are not part of your team, can they follow you on your Facebook page? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking about that. So here's the thing. Because I build my business on social media and I train my team to do the same thing, I tend not to accept friend requests from other 4-lifers. Not because I don't want to be connected to you, but Facebook only allows us 5,000 friends, right? So I want prospects to be my friends. And I want people that are going to be pulled into my journey so that eventually they'll ask me about my product to be my friends. So here's what I would really encourage you to do. When you find somebody, a leader, if it's me, I'm honored and humbled. Go to my wall and click follow. My whole wall is public. I don't hide anything. So everything my friends see, you'll see. So go click follow. And if you've sent me a friend request, would you mind just canceling that friend request because I really, like I said, I want to connect with all of you. You can still comment on my wall. You can ask questions. But I'm just, as you can tell, we've got a big team. We've got so much momentum. We're not stopping. We've got to get to platinum because we've got to open up all the paycheck, right? So the inbox messages, I probably won't be able to get to because right now I've got about 84 of them, and that's time that is taken away from my team. So what I like to say is click follow and don't copy my post, but copy the idea. And you can copy it exactly if you want to. And you'll notice that I don't just talk about For Life. In fact, I rarely talk about For Life, honestly. And I follow a 10-4-1, which maybe we can do another training, which is social media. Dana Fortune's amazing. That whole team is amazing. We've worked really closely together. And what For Life's social media training team is training is really a collaboration with what I've been doing because, you know, it seems to be working. So thank you so much for asking that because I wish I could be all your friends, but I really want to keep those friend limits to prospects and teammates.
So thanks for that, Dana. And so we're going to follow Dana and kind of watch and learn her techniques. And then we want to come back to this webinar because this is going to be permanently posted and watch it again because the questions that we asked her tonight were the questions that are coming into her on her private messages. The most common questions. So Dana, again, thanks for taking your time out for life. We are excited to have you. We're excited for the energy that you're bringing, all of the value you're bringing to your team, but all the people that have yet to be talked to about Transfer Factor, For Life, and all the people that are going to have their lives blessed because we really, really do appreciate you. And we will close out the webinar. We'll see you at convention, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very, very much, Dana.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Good night.